November, when our Prime Minister made a special announcement at 8 p.m., all of us have had just one thing on our minds. We've only been talking about this one topic, demonetization. All of us have strong opinions about it. Some of us are pro and some of us are anti the decision. Here we are, we have a great bunch of people wanting to discuss their viewpoints, and let's see what they have to
In a
say.
system that has abolished all adventure, the real adventure is to abolish the system. And that is what our Prime Minister has tried to do. But the system that he's trying to abolish consists of 4%. The economy of black money in our country is exactly 4%. So according to me, in concept, it is brilliant what he's tried to do. But in execution, have we thought it through? Have we thought about the steps and how we're going to do the damage control of what has been done? That is the real ideation that we need to bring to the plate now.
Execution might look ugly, but I don't think it could have been done any better. We are a country of 1.25 billion people. We need to understand that one man's meat is always going to be another man's poison, right? It's very easy to sit on these chairs that we're sitting, having a beer and saying, you know what, the execution is not great. But try getting into Modi's shoes and doing it. Trust me, it wouldn't be any easier. Most of the people who are complaining because they don't know what to do with their black money. The Kejriwals, the Ragas, who are going to show that they're going to collect money from an ATM for 4 grand. I mean, when have you ever seen them at an ATM? I'm a businessman, Deepak, and I'd like to be called Mitron. It's MITR-ON. Because when he made this announcement, I felt he was telling us, Mitra, we're on, right? And I said, yes, we are on. As a businessman, trust me, I have felt the pinch of this announcement. So I'm hoping it's a step in the right direction. It is definitely a step in the right direction. Execution might look bad, but I don't think it could have been better. It had to be done surreptitiously. It had to be done very secretively, which has been done. And now when...
Well, I can't say I will start from where he left because there's nothing is left. So, yes, we are making this general sweeping statement that anybody who's against demonetization is basically pro-black money. But that's not the case. 86% of the value of currency was in 500 and 1,000. May I ask, which jackass allowed this to happen? Why was 86% of your currency in a denomination which has been at such a high value and was susceptible to being forged? Now, the second point which a lot of people have made that, Pakistan was creating a factory in Rawalpindi where 500 and 1,000 notes were brought in. My one question is that, which is the largest economy in the world? US, which is another economy. UK, you have China. How many times have they changed the currency note? US currency is today the world currency. How many times a $100 bill been changed? Our 7th largest economy of the world cannot take decisions overnight. Today, it's very easy to say that, this decision was primarily for black money. I'm sorry to say this was primarily for elections. The timing is spectacular. The UP and Gujarat elections are on next in the horizon. Everybody knows a huge amount of cash was being moved, and this was basically done to get political mileage. My last point is, all this cash is getting into the banks, right? And what we were told that suddenly there's overcapitalization, banks will get you loans in a cheaper price. I'm sorry to say the banking system has failed us time and again. Are we going to trust the whole economy to the banking system, which has given us subprime, which has given us those huge NPAs which are sitting pretty in their banks? Today the government is talking about shifting these NPAs to another bank off the book record, writing it off. Is that the solution? Is there any bank regulation which has come that all this cash of common man's money which is getting into the bank will be used appropriately? No. So I'm sorry to say this is not a well thought of plan. This is not a well executed plan. Execution is a different thing. The concept itself is wrong. Sorry, thank you.
Right. I mean, you talked about US economy, right? I think so in the 1960s and early 70s, what was US all about? I think the US was all about a big mafia oriented country, right? In 1969, I think so, if I'm not wrong, President Nixon actually demonetized the high denomination notes. US used to have $500 notes, $1,000 notes, $5,000 notes and $10,000 notes, right? And that was again a similar concept that he actually demonetized on one day. All the thousands, 500s, 10,000s went away and we came back to $100 note, that was the biggest denomination, which is like, I guess today 6,000 rupees in our country, right? After that, what happened? US became the biggest economy. So are we saying that like India is in that phase of becoming the biggest economy when we have the same issues going on in India, what was happening in US in the 1960s and the 1970s? So we'll take it from there.
I think the group here represents most of you are businessmen, barring two salaried people. So the thing is, as a businessman, I don't feel that you have been impacted negatively by this. I think most of you are happy. That's what I believe, because I have few businessmen friends and they are really happy. So what was the idea of this demonetization? It is not working. 1% of population of India's population is paying tax. Only 1%. Where is the black money? The black money is again with the bureaucrats. What are you doing about that? Why? What is it that the government has done to curb that corruption part? Where is the another set of black money lying with the politician? What are we doing? Have you seen any of? When I say businessmen, I'm referring to maybe Ambani's. No offense to anybody, but the real businessman. Has anybody seen either of these guys standing in the queue and depositing their money? Okay, if they have, they must be having cash, right? 500 or 1,000 rupees bill. But has anybody seen other than Rahul Gandhi standing for that gimmick, which is perfectly fine, in the queue and depositing that money? Has anybody seen any politician standing in the queue and depositing that money? So what are we talking about? Where is the impact? The impact is on Aam Aadmi, not Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi, but actual Aam Aadmi. The poor guy is standing for 2 to 3 hours or 5 hours in a queue and just trying to take money and so that he can meet his daily expenses. So with this, I am done. Thank you.
All right. So when Christ was being crucified, he prayed to the Lord that, Lord, please forgive these people because they know not what they are doing. Similarly, at this point, I would like to pray to the Lord that please forgive my worthy opponents out here because they know not what they are saying. This whole demonetization thing was based on two agendas. Not only removal of black money, but also as a matter of national security, right? We all know Pakistan there has got factories printing notes. They are sending it to Kashmir and using it for all sorts of things. If you realize in the last few days, the stone pelting has stopped, the demonstrations have stopped, the Naxalite activities have stopped. Why? You know, one
standing in the line.
Yeah, exactly. So this issue of demonetization is essentially based to remove the cash and the black money from the politicians who have got hordes of it, not really a common businessman or a service class employee, right? We haven't even seen how this thing is going to play out in future. You know, you could have rationalization of taxes, you could have lowering of interest rates. Yes, the GDP will be hurt, will be compromised for a few quarters, but then once we move towards a cashless economy, this whole thing, all the cash will come into the system and probably, and I do hope probably, the whole economy will pick up and India will be something very different.
Taking off from you, Vikram. Being a Catholic, I will tell you, forgive them for they know not what they say. Forgive him for he knows what he does. He said he was supposed to demonetize. What is he demonetize? 500 rupees and 1,000 and introduce 2,000. People have already sent you pictures and WhatsApp messages that they are already being chapoing 2,000 rupee notes. What is going to stop Pakistan from forging 2,000 rupee notes and it coming into the market in the next 15 days? So what crap are we talking? If the man really wanted to do something, he should have done it for the local people. I am a doctor. I went to the bank 3 days before this entire thing was announced. I was supposed to go to the run of Kutch. I withdrew money which I have earned. I have paid tax on it. You gave me 1,000 rupee notes. Now you expect me to stand in a freaking line to change that? Then you said 2,500 rupees. You think I'm a bloody beggar? I'm not. My maid doesn't have money in her house. I have to go requesting people. The chicken man says, I will only take the money if you give me 100 rupee notes and I will give you 400 rupee equivalent for 500 rupees. I said, why you're giving me 100 grams chicken extra? I'm not charging you extra as a doctor. I'm doing my job. If I leave your wife and I go to stand in the line, which I did at one point, you guys would shoot me. Where the hell are you, doc? You're supposed to be in the hospital. But who's going to live my life for me? My driver, my maid, everybody wants money. I'm talking about brass tacks. You should have had your infrastructure intact if you wanted to take this decision. All decisions as far as politicians are concerned, we are willing to support. We are a democratic country. We are supposed to follow the fool, which is what we've done since. And we are herd mentality. This is India. I am one person who pays the highest amount of tax in most of Powai can talk about. But what is the use? What do I get separate? Do I get special roads to work on? I don't get even a bloody night's sleep. So what are we talking about? What do I get in return for what I'm paying? Do I get anything that is value for money? No. I'm paying all your damn taxes because I earn only white. You have paid all your checks. All my money is only in check. What 1 rupee have I taken from any of you? But now what do I get in return? Yeah, I've delivered all of them. So why the hell support a man that's sitting there pretending to be holier than thou, showing pictures of his mother standing in a line? Why doesn't he come and stand in the freaking line or send me money to my house to pay my maids and my driver? Or give me that much liberty to go and stand there and get preference. 33 people have died standing in your lines. Who's accountable for their deaths? Are you going to go and support their families? Are you giving them any discount on any ground because they stood in your freaking line just for monetary exchange? And you're giving me 2,000 rupees instead of 500 rupees. How will I pay for anything with that 2,000 rupees? The guy says take equivalent 2,000 rupees worth or don't take change. Why should I do any of that? You get the mic now.
I want to ask you, what about the impact on the salient features that you cannot see, about how it's affecting so many people's mind here? What are we considering that? No, because we can't see it, so we're not going to talk about things that we can't see.
So, since you talk about mental health and apparently it's your profession,
Not apparently, it is.
okay. I mean, I didn't
I'd
know.
like you to be a little bit respectful about what you're doing.
No, apparently because you just mentioned it to me. I
can
never
go
knew
ahead with
about it.
your
Yeah, I will. I will.
This is not
gonna stop
personal,
you.
guys.
Right. So, you're talking about the mental health because that's how you're perceiving the situation to be. I believe our photographer friend here did an interview at the bank queues a couple of days back. And if you've been a friend of Pallavi's and if you've been on Facebook and if you've been watching that, I don't think any person there, and I'm talking about not the businessmen, I'm talking about the lower middle class and the lower class standing in queue there, complained about this. They all said, you know what, despite all these struggles, we are for this because we believe it is for the betterment. So I believe that the guys who are not for this are the ones who are trying to hide something, are the ones who are feeling the pinch,
I feel you're
who are let me finish. Let me finish.
We are not
Let me
for
finish.
the queues.
Guys, you're messing with my mental health, sweetheart. Right? So, when you talk about the grassroots level people, listen to their voices. Don't sit in your high chair and assume that that person is suffering because he doesn't think he's suffering. He is standing in line for a better tomorrow. I believe we have a better tomorrow. When you ask questions about taxation, why hasn't Modi changed that? Dude, when Modi started Jan Dhan Yojana, did you expect this coming? Till the 8th of November, none of us had a clue this was coming. All of us have been affected by it at a different level. I've been hit, he's been hit, you've been hit. But we took it with a smile because we believe that the next step will be the next step in the right direction. You are questioning why hasn't this been done? You don't know when he's going to do it. So my friend, pull up your shoes, take your black money and get rid of it before he comes behind your ass and wallops you before you don't know what hit you.
So, for a better tomorrow, who told you there's a better tomorrow? Give me the facts and figures.
Who told you there's no better tomorrow?
No, give me a facts and figures. Your RBI, your finance
Because-
ministry has not come out with a single figure. What is the impact on the GDP going to be?
another
I'm sorry to say,
Statistics.
blind faith. I'm not an illiterate person. I cannot be told by the government. Believe me, there's a better day tomorrow. अच्छे दिन आएंगे, but I will not tell you how the अच्छे दिन will come. I'll give you some facts. I'll give you some facts to consider. We all agree that the biggest problem was from Pakistan, which is running a huge mint in Rawalpindi and Karachi, which is throwing in 500,000. For this, we all have taken a sacrifice because the soldiers are taking sacrifice. Common man is standing in the queue and taking service, right? Do you know in trading, we do trading with lots of countries. We have most favored nation status. Do you know who features in that most favored nation status? Pakistan. Have you changed that status? No, you haven't changed. What does that mean? That your borders are open for trade. That means cash goes here and there. You have not even has the gall to stop the MFN status because you don't want to be be seen as a guy who's taking action against Pakistan. You want to play the victim card. You have basically. You're allowing Pakistan to do trade with you. You've given him a most favored nation status, which he does not give it to you, by the way. And yet you are saying that, okay, fine, you can deal with the cash. And all this while, because of this most favored nation status, cash has been moving here and there. They've been trading with us. Now Mr. Jindal goes and does business with Nawaz Sharif. You want to support that. That's why you want to give him MFN status. Doesn't work that way. Because if you are telling me to take the pain, I'm going to take the bullet in my chest. But doesn't mean that you want to sign deals with those guys and say that no, because of them, you're going to take the pain.
12% is going to the bank, 1% will go to the RBI, and what does the RBI do with that 1%? It gives it back to the government. And then what does the government do with the money? Are our roads beautiful? So where is the black money going? Where is the white money that is black money which is getting converted to white money going after all? Is going back to the government?
Bringing down
Guys, let's have one conversation at a time.
No. Demonetization meant getting rid of high denomination notes and bringing lower denomination notes. How the hell can you make an educated man understand 2,000 rupees is now being replaced for instead of 500 and 1,000? I thought you had to downgrade. You're upgrading the system.
Your example of USA was basically not demonetization. It was revaluation of the economy.
Yes.
That means you got $100 to be the maximum. Who does that when the economy is strong? He says, I don't need a higher bill. And that was the years of petrodollar.
I think, honestly, my worthy opponents are just harping lines which they've heard on media, spoken by the Kejriwals and the Ragas.
Kejriwal has not spoken anything of this sort.
Kejriwal is the one. Kejriwal is the one. Oh, one sec.
That's an insult.
The only reason.
I'm
sorry.
That's equating like the BJP guy.
There is a theory behind why it wasn't a 1,000 rupee note in a different color, and I will forward that to you if you share a number.
That is all immaterial.
No, it is not immaterial because there are facts.
Answer the banking part.
What banking part? What was it?
Exactly
The
what
money is
you're
going to bank. Now, how you will control the banking
the
system?
12%,
What will
1%?
stop them from still developing NPAs, which basically will sink all your funds? What banking regulation has come simultaneously? Shocking now.
No, probably not right now. But I don't think we can.
No, but right now we're putting our money into the bank. So why are we talking about the future?
So when you put a sapling, you don't expect the tree to be there tomorrow morning when you get up.
No, tree is different. But
No, it is not different. I think you guys should have the patience to wait and watch what is coming next.
No, so okay,
You are
fine.
talking of having faith in a single human being who has not done really anything too much.
One sec.
He like stands up one night and he decides a 1,500 का note निकालता है and straight away 2,000 आता है. That's what he's. No, but I think there must be. Yeah,
So one sec.
There is a team which
I
it
think.
has been worked upon and then the decision has come in.
So
And
it was
Anu,
not sudden, right?
I believe they think that
DNA
one second.
About execution now, right? Don't you think that execution is actually correct? What she said, I'm just answering her now. She said like all the top guys already got to know. What is the government interested today? What is Mr. Modi interested in today? Is that the money should be rolled back into the system.
Yes.
Right? That is it. I think so. It was a fantastic execution. He must have gone to the Ambanis, he went to the Adanis, he went to all these top corporates, and he said, boss, I am going to change the system from 8th November. What is your view on this? They said we will deposit all our money and we will take a 45% hit on it. He went to Sharad Pawar, he went to all these big politicians and he said, Mr. Sharad Pawar, how much money are you stashing in your account? He says, I'm stashing about 100,000 crore in my account. Okay, I'm going to do this on 8th of November. What is your view on this? He said, please take 50%, put it in the bank and give me the 50%. So the money becomes legal again. Now what happens? After all this, only 35% of the money which is outside with these black money people is what came into the market. Where is the 65% money hiding?
It's gone back.
It's hiding. No.
It's with them.
No. The Indian system is about saving. We Indians believe in keeping money. We will decide to keep the money in our house and as a security point of view. My maid comes to me and
No, fine. So you save, now you'll put it in the bank, right?
Let's have
I'm
it
coming to
finished.
answer you.
Yeah.
First I'm answering her. I'm talking about the execution and then I'm coming to answer your banking system. This is what has happened. Now, the 65% which is lying in somebody's house, and we are talking about like 1.25 million people in India. Every house has got some money stacked into their house. My maid had 4 lakh rupees. My accountant's grandmother came out with a bag of 17 lakh rupees, which was lying dead in some cupboard or in a bag, which had no value for the economic system of country. This money has been brought inside.
No, you got an excellent point. Just a question here. Why is that old lady, why did she keep that 17 lakhs over last 10 years?
The mentality.
No. Why did she do it? No.
Exactly.
We have a thing.
Sorry, but we have to provide for ourselves.
No, because she didn't trust the banking system.
Yes,
And the same
that
banking
is the point.
system remains.
I have a question. What do you mean she doesn't trust the banking system?
I'll give you the answer.
She didn't know what a bank was.
No,
I'll just take one call.
So there are
she doesn't want to
So
pay tax
there are
on it.
multi-level.
That is the whole problem. It is people like that who did not want to pay the tax, who have got away with everything, and the big builders and the who
But it has to
whatsoever
change
have
at
moved with
at
their
some
money.
point.
For
So
God's sake,
just-
which world are you
It has
living in?
to.
Also, if you see the Indian finance system rather, you have banks which is at the top tier. Believe me. Then you have cooperative banks. You have private banks, then you have public sector banks, then you have cooperative banks, and then you have credit societies. Do you know these basic credit societies? They are spread across the countries where villagers go and deposit their money, and these are not banks; they are NBFCs. You know who are the chairmen of all these banks and everything? They are these Sharad Pawars and all of the world. They don't need to convert black to white. They are working on that kind of society to fund their processes. So they are getting their money from white line of cash. So it's not that Sharad Pawar has this whole warehouse of cash. Only there, that is the source of money. His money comes from BCCI. His money comes from credit society. These are white, perfectly white in our economy. Today, my simple question is that if forget about the big ones, forget about Ambani standing in line, forget about even the mid-level businessmen who want to change their ways and use it. Today, the common man is taking out cash. You all are giving instances of women, maids and gardeners and drivers coming out with cash from there. Now they were aware that they were they were not to be paying tax. It's not about tax they were saving. They for years together they were saving cash in their cupboard. Why? Because they didn't have faith in the system. We had to first build the faith in the system.
So, I will answer that. This rot has been there for the last 60 years.
Exactly.
There's no denying it, right?
Yes.
It cannot change overnight.
Yes, but somebody attempted to do so.
But this guy is attempting to do so. If you see, in the last few years, the banks have been tightening their screws on companies who are almost on the verge of being turned NPAs. For example, right, the SR and the Rosenfeld deal, right, wherein billions of dollars came into the system. Rosenfeld bought into SR oils and billions of dollars came in. That was a result of tightening of screws. That was do something, sell your stake and get our money back. The JP Infra deal. JP Infra today is selling their cement plants and everything else and paying the government back. Similarly, there's Jindal deal. So the banks are tightening their screws. Who made them tighten the screws? This man made them tighten the screws.
No. So
And he's been
couple of
giving
things.
fair warning. He's been
so
giving
things
you
are happening.
giving you fair warning.
Today, what
Put
they
your
are
money
not
in the
happen
bank.
overnight.
No,
It
sorry.
should not happen
And you have to do
overnight.
something
Sorry,
drastic.
banks
He's been
were in
saying that for a long time.
banks were in a complete mess. There was no option for banks but to tighten the screws.
For all the
But
people
today
that
what
have
they're doing
money outside
is
the
whatever NPAs they have, they're removing it from the balance sheet. They want to form another bank which is basically an asset reconstruction company which will take all these NPAs and they'll give bank a clean balance sheet and who's going to be fueled by huge amount of cash which an individual common man is depositing today as of now. And they'll
That's the assumption.
No, but they're doing it. You suddenly have a spike in
That's
the
the
You are
assumption.
assuming he's
That's
going to
the
have a
assumption.
change.
What is
You
an
are
assumption?
assuming
One
that
second. In all this, somewhere none of us has spoken about the fact that he had the IDS. He collected 65,000 crores
No,
worth
sorry. A1, Jandhan, UID, nothing is his. It was all going on. So please don't say that.
No, when
Modi
you say
started
going on
Jandhan.
by whom?
It was all UID. Nandan Nilekani was done much earlier. This whole
no.
roadmap was done made by
When was the last IDS? When was the last IDS? When was the last
Whole
IDS?
series of this
When was the last
Whole
IDS?
series of implementation had been started by bureaucrats much before. So you can't give credit
No,
to
so-
Manmohan Singh or Modi for any of this.
So if IDS has been tried before, does not mean that if Modi tries it now, I'm not saying it's Modi's baby. But the fact of the matter is, it's a part of the system. It's a part of the way he's building the thing. Now the fact of the matter is, he gave everyone a fair chance to declare under IDS.
So you're talking of VDS. VDS was under Chindapram also, it was done.
Fair enough.
It was done.
Fair enough. I'm not denying that.
Nothing came this time also.
70,000 crores.
70,000 crores. And when you talk about statistics, if you got to believe, if you have to believe your
When I
statistics.
remember Azhar had done that time, it was around about 50,000. You look at the
No, so
inflation.
if we have to believe their statistics, I think it's fair you got to believe what I say.
Did, nothing came. Modi did, nothing came. So you have to take a stance.
No, but then take a stern step this way overnight. Now, but tell me something. He's going to do this overnight solution for everything. Are we ready to take those jerks?
Yes.
I'll tell you what's
We
coming.
all have good points. We have last 5 minutes. I think it's good to start with concluding statements. I'm supposed to be neutral, but I'm sorry, I'm pro. So let's start doing. Start doing this.
I'll conclude by what is being perceived to be the next, and I'm believe me, it's going to be something which you should think upon for the rest of the night. We don't have a real estate regulation till now in place, but he's going to now make you re-register all the properties to get the Benami, and that will again happen overnight. And we'll say that yes, all solutions are going to be overnight. All the best for that.
So like, I would again come back to the same point. Okay, so it's again for a good better start. I think so we had to start from some point of time. It's come at a point like, where everybody was unaware. But let's give him a chance. Let's give the government a chance. Let's give the banking system a chance. And let us see whether this is actually a new start for this country to develop.
It's better than nothing. I agree. I agree.
Even I feel
I forgot what I was saying. Now you're done.
having said all that, I still feel we cannot assume that every action is going to be overnight like this. It's a surprise for everybody. I'm still hopeful because obviously I'm not going to leave this country. I'm going to live here, and everybody keeps saying be optimistic. So considering everything, I'm still hopeful that something good will come out of it, and we'll all get benefited eventually. So I'm keeping my hopes high.
What has your chartered accountant told you? I'm sure you must have called up your chartered accountant what to do with your hordes of money in your cupboard. What was the advice given to you?
Okay, in my concluding comments, I think let's have faith in this guy. This rot has been there for a while. It'll take some time for it to melt out. Let's have faith, and I think logic says that a lot more good measures for the common man are yet to be announced. So let's have faith and go with it.
in the guy, but not in the
the
system.
pressure on his shoulder.
Obviously not.
We haven't heard from Anu at all. Anu has something to say?
Let's wait for this 50 days.
So you all are only praying and
Jyoti.
guys, show me data, show me numbers, show me statistics. Don't tell me have faith in somebody for God's sake.
We all live in our ruts, and any change that comes this is a sudden change, and people are always resistant to change, and especially we have somebody to target it for. Why did he bring it? I feel Modi is being attacked. People are not looking at bigger picture. I don't understand. We are fighting against the government or we are fighting against Modi. That was what I came to hear out. That who are we targeting? Modi or the government? Because these problems have been lasting for years.
Okay.
And when a change has come, we are attacking it. When Congress was there, nothing was. Nobody sat down, had a debate about this.
1%.
Only now, why? Why we have never sat like this and spoken against Congress when they were ruling? Why when Modi is doing it?
So I'm going to restate what I said initially. There are always two sides of a coin. There's going to be his story, her story, and the truth.